Hello you lovely people and welcome. So first I want to apologise for my absence. I have had a severe case of Charlie Victor 19er and it really knocked me for six, so yeah, I've been bedridden for nearly a week and a half, so I apologise for my absence, but I'm back and we are going to look at Pilot's -7. Now I'm not normally an airliner type person, but I do have two distant connections with this aircraft, and if you hadn't guessed, this -7 is the British Antarctic Survey variant. Their global headquarters is based here in Cambridge, so that's my first sort of connection, and the second is my wife actually worked for them for a little while, so yeah, it sort of piqued my interest, and I thought, well, you know, this aircraft was used for the military as well. Venezuelan Navy had one on strength for a while. The American Army had 10 variants in intelligence gathering variations, and the Canadian Armed Forces had two -7s on strength. So it sort of counts in my case. Also, it's great short takeoff and landing aircraft. It's got a great performance in real life. So I've not really flown the aircraft, but we're gonna get it going. Just do a quick review of it. So looking around the cockpit, it's absolutely gorgeous, really well modelled. Excuse my co-pilot. He doesn't really do a lot, do you, Chewie? So yeah, like I say, it kind of reminds me of the internals of the C-160. Very similar, obviously the prop aircraft. You've got feathering. There's all your prop gauges, fuel flow, things like that. Then all your navigational data there, VVI, altitude, rad out, things like that. And then you've got your autopilot across the top here. Down here you've got your nav radios and transponder. Comms and ADF are down below the chair here, and then you've got parts for your autopilot, and then ADF again across here, and all your trims up top here. All your anti-ice, which is going to be very vital in this aircraft as it spends most of its time in Antarctica or the Falkland Islands. Windshield clearing, all your electronic switches, generator selectors of that nature, your engine ignitions, fuel transfer, things like that, all across the top here. And then you've got bleed air, and you've got battery AC over here, and AC controls, DC controls. So we've got mixtures, trim, flaps, throttle, gust lock, and parking brake, and this thing also has a very, very good reverse thrust. If I can see down the aisle, I'll see if I can. I doubt I will because reasons. I'm not sure if this is correctly modelled for the inside of the British Antarctic Survey variant, but it's just airliner seats. We can shut that door and open it. We can sit on the jump seat as well. So if I sit in the jump seat, we'll have a look down the aisle. Right, so we're now kind of on the jump seat. If we look behind us, as you can see, you've got all of the seating for the passengers either side. Again, the United States Army, they had electronic intelligence gathering equipment in theirs. Canadians used it for cargo, I believe. Hello mate, what are you doing? Get out! Yeah, and you've got your cabin crew seats there. So I'm going to get back into the pilot seat. We'll get this thing fired up and we'll get it out on the runway. So we'll just stow that jump seat, shut the cabin door, keep the riffraff out, get this thing started. So we're all turning and burning now. Again, looking around the cockpit, you've got this vent here that if you click on it, it will hide the yoke. I'm going to hide that for a second just to show you these bits here. I've also noticed that there seems to be what could possibly be a weather radar there that doesn't seem to be clickable. I'm not sure if that's going to come in a later update. And also I have tuned into Cambridge's ILS, which is 111-300. As you can see, we're 0.3 nautical miles away from the end of the runway apparently. So we've got some DME showing there, and we've also got vectors on the course compass there. So and one more thing, we've got spoiler modes up here. There's a flight mode and a taxi mode. At the moment it's in taxi. If we jump outside, you'll see that all the spoilers are actually deployed. Now if we go back in, switch that to flight mode, you'll see that now that they've all been stowed away. I've never seen that before. A bit strange. But we'll leave it in taxi mode just because we're going to be taxiing. Taxi lights in the middle here, landing lights either side, and you've got powered flight control shut off here under here if you want to make things a little heavier. Gear handle there. I mean, everything's where it really should be. Got hydraulics here, and the pressures and stuff. And obviously you've got your spoiler gauge there. So I'm going to hit that, put that back on. We can't open any windows, which I would have thought that would have been a feature. Not that that would be a common thing in this if it's in Antarctica. But yeah, let's get this thing rolling. So release the parking brake. Don't really need to do much as it's already trying to pull away. Ground handling is quite good, quite light for the size of the aircraft, but you really have to keep your foot on your brakes because it really gets away from you. Also, the dodgy parking areas that MSFS has, we've got 2 Top Mac Studio F22s, 2 DC Design F4s and a Vampire back there. Oh great, now we've got a fuel tanker coming into the way. Brilliant. Tell you what, why don't you just sit out in front of me? Go on, yeah, that's it. Drive through me, you know you want to. Stupid AI, honestly. Now where you going? Oh, you taking off, are you? Oh, sometimes this simulator really does wind me up. Zero out the altimeter. Going to backtrack, not that I really need to. This thing's got enough power to get off the ground. Okay, I'm going to flick the spoiler mode to flight. Okay. Get this thing turned round. Let's get lined up. You can also feather the props using these, so if I click that, bring the number 1 mixture all the way down to feather and throttle back on engine 1. Look across here, you see now it's changed, the prop will slow down. And actually I've just put that into reverse thrust, haven't I? Well, that was really clever of me. So yeah, that will slow down. Feathers propped. I suppose we could shut that engine down completely if we wanted to. I'm not going to though. I might test the test out the autopilot approach to come back to land, I think, see what happens. Right, so just wait for this engine to catch up with the rest of them. Okay, I think we're about good to go. So throttling up, brakes off. Bit of a rough runway here at Cambridge. Okay, so we're going to rotate, and we're up. Gears up. Flaps up. One notch. And again. And again, trim out. That trimmed out quite nicely, to be fair. Bring the throttle back. Don't want to overspeed this, and we're going to just overshoot the Antarctic Survey headquarters, and then I'm going to bring it in for a landing. So just got to find the M11. If you know Cambridge, I think it's just off Madingley Road, next to a really odd building that the university have got, but it's not modelled in sim, so you won't see the odd building that I'm talking about. I think that's the M11 we've just passed over. No, it isn't. That's a train line. Coming over to Trumpington. Here we go, coming up to it now. So this is the Adam Brooks Hospital junction on the M11, just in front. We're going to bank right and follow the M11 down. So that's it, just here. Okay, I'm just going to follow the M11 to not this junction coming up, but the next one. Bit of a strange review video, I know, but it's just a bit of fun, as all these things are related and it's relative, so why not? Okay, that's the first junction. That's the next one coming up. It's a bit bumpy. Okay, you can see these buildings here to the right. That's the Cambridge University land. Also used to be the area where Seabro was based, and I believe that was based just down here somewhere, because me and a friend of mine, we found Sterling parts, Lancaster parts. That's where they used to come into Cambridge, get roaded over to Seabro and get repaired to go back on to missions. This is Antarctic Survey headquarters in Cambridge. Okay, so that's been buzzed. We can head back to Cambridge Airport. Gain a bit of altitude so that we can get this autopilot set up. I have a funny feeling it's going to fail for me, but let's see what happens. It's the first look really at this aircraft. Oh, a bit glitchy there. What's going on? That doesn't exist in Cambridge, so I don't know why that's there. Oh, wait a minute, that's CRC. They do have one of those, actually, Cambridge Regional College, but it's not that big. So that means we're not far from Cambridge Airport. And that's the A14, I believe, running alongside it. Could be wrong, usually am. In fact, that could be the A14. There's Lakenheath and Mildenhall off in the distance. As you can see, we're not very far away. Hey Chewie, why are you just sitting there, mate? Come on, make yourself useful. Don't crap on that seat either. Right, hold tight, mate, we're going to get bumpy. If you didn't realise, that's one of the co-pilot avatars by Got Friends. It's a great little add-on if you haven't got that, and it's quite funny. So there's Cambridge Airport over there. Just going to bank to the left here and head towards Mildenhall, or Mouldy Hole as I call it sometimes. I used to live there. Not a bad place, full of takeaways though. Okay, so we're getting a bit more altitude. How high are we? We're in 600 foot. Right, so we'll bring it in and see what its stall capability is like. I mean, I'm doing around about 90 knots as it is, so this thing's still up in the air. Very impressive. And it handles really nicely as well. It's not too light and it's not too heavy, so pretty good for what you get. Bring this thing in. It's taking us forever because we're doing 90 knots. I think a Cessna 172 could do quicker than this. I think I'm going to have to use reverse thrust when I hit the deck. A bit of a side wind going on here. Right. Here we go. Thought them right back. Okay, reverse thrust on. Christ almighty. Jesus. Hold on a minute, I'm just going to look how much runway we've used there. Jesus Christ. That'll pull your eyeballs out, that will. Right, okay, so let's get on to the review. Yeah, and we'll have a little chat about price and my thoughts on it. Right, so one of the things I didn't talk about was the liveries. You get quite an array of liveries, but they are of different types of navigational equipment as well. So you get Air Greenland, Bajaya, Continental, Pan Am, Air Greenland again, but this time it's got TDS GTN XI navigational equipment. That goes through the whole of the liveries again. And then you get to, you've got Maersk Air as well, which I thought was just a shipping company, but they obviously do air freight as well. And then you go through them again with the GNS 530 navigational equipment. So you, in total, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 liveries. 30 in total, but 10 being with the GTN XI and the GNS 530, something like that. Yeah, GNS 530. So yeah, you get quite a lot of liveries. I'm looking forward to the military liveries to come out. US Army, the Canadian Armed Forces. I think theirs was CC 132 or 133, the designation. And then you've got the Americans, which had EI different kinds. There are three different kinds of intelligence gathering. So it'd be nice to see those come to fruition. But yeah, like I say, I've got a connection with the British Antarctic Survey only by an absolute whisker, and because I live in the city where the global headquarters is, and I've been there a couple of times. Interesting place. But yeah, enough about that. The aircraft. It's priced at €19.99. So you're looking around about, I don't know, £18, something like that, maybe a little bit less. For what you get, fantastic. It really, really is. It's a great flight model. Modelled inside, lovely. The cockpit is all clickable mostly, apart from what looks like the weather radar. And yeah, you get quite a nice set of liveries and also different navigational equipment, which is a nice little addition. Other than that, it flies nice. Its ground handling is lovely. Gets away from you if you're not careful. And yeah, a lot of fun. So I would say it's definitely worth the money. A decent sized aircraft. You can get it into small strips, as I've just shown you. Well, not that I landed on a small strip, but I took absolutely nothing to land the aircraft, especially on approach at 90 knots. It's just not gonna run away from anybody doing that. So yeah, it's a great aircraft, very interesting. But it's nice to get some military liveries for it. So yeah, it's a good aircraft to try your rough strip practicing for short takeoff and landing, get into austere environments, and just have a bit of fun with it. I mean, you could literally do some bush flying with this thing, as long as there's enough space, and you know, because this thing just doesn't take any runway at all to get off the ground for the size of the aircraft. So very impressed. Created by pilots. Their aircraft have been good in the past. I did have a couple of their aircraft in FSX, so quite reputable, and not at all disappointed with this whatsoever. Just piqued my interest for the two reasons that I've mentioned, and yeah, definitely worth the money. Fantastic. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. May do some more in-depth startups and using autopilot properly, and yeah, looking at the other navigational equipment as well. So if you've got this far, thank you very much, and as always, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.